at our next practice and see ways we can get better. I mean, it's a long season. It's a marathon. So, it was a great atmosphere. We had a chance to win, but they made the plays.
LeBron, what was your sort of experience of that last play that eventually got overturned? What were you thinking before they went to the video on that?
What do you mean?
What was your sort of live experience of that, and how were you surprised by the result of the review?
Yeah, and not by the review, but I was surprised by the overturn. I didn't feel like the ball went off my hand, but I mean that's the way it went.
Have you watched replays on that?
I've seen a little bit on the jumbotron, but not since I've been here.
Because the physics of it are just kind of confusing. Like how does it go with that angle?
No, I mean if he strips down, the ball will go down. It wouldn't go back. But he stripped the ball and it went. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you look at a slow motion 4 or 5, 10 times, you can always decide if it could be a different call. But throughout a live game, if he strips the ball and it goes, I mean it's just weird to me. But that wasn't the game right there. I mean, it's a big play, and you want to try to get it right, but it wasn't the game that lost us.
From your vantage point, did he touch the ball?
Yeah, for sure.
LeBron, to your point, it's a long season, but what things do you take away that might mean anything from the big picture?
We just got to get better. And I say that even when, during the win streaks to the road streaks, for me, you stay even keeled throughout the whole season, no matter what. No matter if you're losing, you're winning. Because it's a marathon, a new narrative can be made the next day or the next opportunity you get to go on the court. So, we just continue to work our habits. Continue to be. I think defensively we got back to how we play defense tonight, and offensively we got to be better. I mean, we had some late turnovers in the fourth quarter that was very costly, and we missed a lot of our perimeter shots, including myself. But we just got to be a little bit better.
Were the 5 days or so leading up to this game effective in your rehab, and how healthy did you feel?
I felt healthy going into the game. The third defensive possession, I got kneed in the groin, taking a charge from Pat Bev, and it kind of set me right back to where I was 5 days ago.
Obviously, there was much more to the game than this, but when you split those free throws late, how frustrating was that for you?
I mean, that's my job to go up and make free throws. 1 out of 2, it's still one possession game. We're still down 3, and we still got to stop. And then the play, the review happened after that, so we still got an opportunity to still, tie the game.
Do you feel good about the progress your defense made? AD was just saying that he felt like the previous 3 games it just wasn't there, and then tonight he felt like he was back. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, they shot 45% from the field. A lot of their shots was tough. A lot of them was, our mistakes though, in the fourth quarter. But pretty much, I think, when you have guys, you got guys sprinting back on turnovers like KCP did. Guys, getting extra possessions. JaVale, his limited minutes going up and being out of position, but still able to come back in the lane and block shots. That's just multiple efforts. So, definitely you take some of that. You take that good with that.
LeBron, despite the result, how much fun was it, especially with both teams at full strength this time?
I mean, you get an opportunity to play the game that you love on Christmas in front of the world, and you just try to live in the moment, and you won't have it won't last forever, that's for sure. So you live in the moment and don't ever take it for granted.
You mentioned that Pat Bev needs you and that sets you back a little bit. How optimistic are you feeling about that you're going to be able to play on Saturday in Portland?
To be honest, I haven't even thought about Portland just yet. I'm always around the clock with my body, getting my treatment. If I'm feeling great, I'll be in the lineup. If I'm feeling well, I'll be in the lineup. But like I said, we see what happens.
LeBron, it's obviously a long season. A lot of things can change, but it feels kind of like you guys are on a collision course with that team. How do you feel about that matchup and your ability to get a different result if you come in a 7-game series?
I haven't even got to a point where I'm thinking about a 7-game series, to be honest. This is December 25th, and we got a long way to go to even think about, trying to compete versus anyone in the 7-game series. So, we want to try to continue to get better, and we will continue to get better offensively, defensively, on ways that we can, hold a lead and execute better offensively. And when teams pick up the pressure, how we can still combat that and still be able to execute down the stretch. So those are things we can continue to get better at before we even get to, talking about April.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, LeBron.
Appreciate it.
Talked a little bit about this in pregame. Most points on Christmas. LeBron still in third place, now 16 points behind Oscar Robertson. And speaking of the offense, LeBron just said it right there. This team has to get
Discrepancy at the free throw line in the second half. What did you think? Why did you get to the line so often in the second half, and why was that a difference in the game?
I mean, we were in a penalty with, I think, like 8 minutes left in the fourth. And we wasn't attacking. We shot a lot of jump shots, but, they wanted more. We had a lot of mistakes down the end of the game, mental mistakes on both ends of the floor. We fouled a lot in that fourth quarter, put them to the line. Really in the second half, they made shots and, got some stops. So, we gave that one away.
Big discrepancy, too, just in offense in the first half and in the second. I think you're in the 60s and then in the 40s in the second half. What did you see offensively in that second half, AD?
I said we missed shots. We were rushing a lot of shots. We had some good looks wide open. I mean, Kuz had one, KCP had one at the end. Just missed them. I think they were a little bit rushed, but, we all had shots. Like I said, we wasn't I don't think we were too aggressive, especially being in the penalty with 8 minutes left. That's the time where we got to be ultra aggressive to get to the line.
Defensively, what was working for you guys at the start, and how were the Clippers able to respond, do you think?
We were talking, we were communicating. We were in all our coverages, and towards the end, we messed up on some coverages, and they made us pay. Like I said, we were fouling, wasn't being solid, and they get to the line, early in the third, and was able to cut that lead. So it kind of gets away from how we play, which is fast. Anytime they're in the line, it kind of slows the game down. So we weren't able to get out and run like we did in the first half. And like I said, they came out in that second half, and was aggressive getting to the line, Paul George especially, and was able to cut that lead down.
Anthony, it was the same result as opening night, but are there any ways where you felt like your guys' overall impact or effectiveness against them has developed since opening night?
Yeah, I mean, we did some good things, but like I said, we gave that one away. We had the game. We were in control of the entire game. We let them get back in it. We were still leading. I think about 7 with about 6 minutes to go. That's a game that you got to close out. So, like I said, we gave that one away. They made some big plays. We had some miscommunication on defense where, Kawhi, got a couple threes. We didn't, box out a couple plays, and they were able to get the rebounds and make us pay for it. So we got to do a better job in those areas.
In a game that you guys are up by 15 in that third quarter, and then by the end of the third, start of the fourth, it's tied. What happened in that stretch?
Turnovers. Like I said, they got to the line. The game was definitely slowed down. He wasn't able to play with pace because they were able to get to the line. So we got to do a better job of, not fouling and, being able to keep our pace high. And, going to the fourth, a tie game, and we still had the lead, late down the stretch, and we got to be able to close those games out.
Last two questions.
You had a couple possessions where you matched up with Kawhi. How do you feel like you did defensively against him in those?
I feel like I did fine. I mean, it was a couple of possessions where, we had a couple of miscommunication on my end, and he was able to get a 3 over Dwight, and then, got to be a step into him a little bit more, and he got a rise-up 3 in the first quarter. But for the most part, I was able to try to force him to his left, not let him get right, for his, 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull-up. But, it's a team defense, not one-on-one. I think our entire team, did a good job for the most part, but we, once again, fouling and, offensive rebounds kind of killed us. And, he had a couple rise-up 3s in front of our defenders. And, that's the one thing that we don't want to do, when we're on the island with a player like that is give him, rise-up 3s or let him get middle. And, we kind of struggled in that department tonight.
This is now 4 straight losses. How do you prevent? You've obviously played some really good teams during that stretch. How do you prevent that from becoming something that gets into your heads? And
I think we got back to our defensive, intensity tonight. which we were struggling in. The other 3 losses that we had, we wasn't playing any defense, and I think we got back to it tonight. I say we just